Here is the 2024 Chevrolet Colorado Trail Boss Crew Cab in Nitro Yellow over jet black interior. Two different power options, but is this going to be the best in class compared to Toyota and Ford? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and I'm going to touch bases on some pros and cons and the problem that I have with the new Colorado. Up front is going to start with halogen headlight. Daytime runnings is LED that integrates into the top portion of the grille. The LT will get an option for LED headlights in daytime runnings. The Chevrolet badging blacked out with the chrome surrounding it, integrating into the larger grille with the Trail Boss badging that goes into the grille pattern, and the lower will get the satin aluminum with 9.51 inches of clearance. The Trail Boss comes with the off-road suspension that gives you a 2-inch lift, so now you're at 11.53 inches. Standard is at 7.9 inches. The ZR2, you can get the Bison Edition, which gives you the AEV skid plates for the front, the transfer case, the rear differential, and the fuel tank with the AVE steel front bumper. And all trims will option an 8-speed automatic transmission. We have Turbo Max, which gets 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque. And what I like about the Colorado is you can pretty much a la carte your features once you go into a trim level. Now the WT front fascia is going to be a lot more settled, and because of the clearance being the way it is, it's going to not look as dominant on the road. And the Z71 front fascia will be similar to this. We get upgraded 20-inch wheels because we have the Trail Boss 2 package. This is gloss black. It starts as an 18-inch wheel. You can get up to a 22-inch wheel. The running boards, gloss black is going to be for the Colorado badging and a touch on the side view mirror, towing up to 7,700 pounds, which is the best in class. It outperforms Ford and Toyota. The fenders flare out, so you not only have a more off-roadsy look, but you get more capabilities. Standard step for the rear bumper, and going into the ZR2 with the Bison Edition, you're going to get the steel rear bumper. The exhaust tip will get the gloss black Trail Boss badging, and safety and security has been updated with Chevy Safety Assist that includes the IntelliBeam automatic high beams, follow distant indicator, forward collision alert with lane keep assist and lane departure warning, automatic emergency braking with front pedestrian and bicyclist braking with teen driver. The safety package adds the rear cross traffic braking, blind zone steering assist, rear parking assist with heated and powered side mirrors. With a spare tire tucked underneath. No soft to open, going into 61.7 inches long, a width at 58.8 inches between the wheel well housing at 45.5 inches, giving us 41.9 cubic feet. Six-way manual seat adjustment for the front. Heated, ventilated, and power seats is an option on the Z71. Headroom and leg room. The Colorado is going to have some of the most interior space in class. The dashboard is going to be a flat layout, standard 6 speakers with an option for both 7 speakers when you go into the Z71. 11.3 inch is standard. Navigation, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming, Bluetooth audio, Google Assist, Google Play Store, Amazon Alexa, put it into reverse, and the trajectory will expand out. You can also line it up for the tow with an option of a 360-degree reverse camera. Standard single climate control and its actual physical buttons, so you don't have to use everything through the infotainment screen. USB ports, wireless charger starts as an option on the Z71. Gloss black elements is going to surround the gear lever. It's going to be a lot more sporty, opens up to a storage cubby. You can lift this and it's a deep storage pocket. And you have an area here for the key fob for the new Colorado. The steering wheel is multi-function. Heated starts on the Z71, 11-inch gauge cluster that can go through an array of information for the driver, including the off-road page, turn-by-turn navigation, or your tach and odometer. Auto-dimming rear view mirror, circular air vents that integrate into the door panel, and it's going to be more of your everyday with one touch up and down for the driver window. 2 tiers of storage, but it's a little bit smaller up here, and maybe a beverage holder down here. For the back seats, pull the lever here, lift up at a 60-40 split, and you'll have a little bit of storage, but it does lose a little bit of storage as well, comparing it to competition. There isn't any grab handle, but we do have the running board. So stepping inside, not an issue. Leg space is going to be a little bit more cramped. Butt space isn't too bad. Head space is actually pretty good. You get a grab handle here, and the door has child lock. It's gonna have the same materials that's found in the front, except you only get one beverage holder in the lower. Sliding into the center, the floor is not completely flat, so now it's going to be a little bit more cramped. Butt, leg, and shoulder space is not necessarily bad. Headroom starts becoming an issue. Air vents in the center is an option on the WT. USB ports for the rear starts on the Z71 as an option. Visibility is good. You sit up high enough. The windows are a little bit smaller than my liking, but for the most part, I think they did a great job. The standard powertrain is going to feel a little bit less in the power, obviously. When you go into the Max Turbo, I mean, it's gonna be night and day difference. 310 horsepower, 430 pound-feet of torque. But when you're thinking about the rival perspective, the interior of this just feels a little bit more welcoming and upscale, opposed to, I hate to say it, plastic materials that's found throughout. Because the new Toyota Tacoma, I think they did a great job as well. I just feel like they didn't mask all the plastic aesthetics everywhere. Here they use gloss black, which some people don't like either because it leaves fingerprints, and if you're using it for a work truck, you will have scratches throughout. And before we check the performance, we're gonna see that turn radius at more or less the stop point. It's about 3 lanes, which is not as good as I thought. Let's see how she goes. It will go, it's just not as fast as I would like it to be, considering this is a mid-sized truck. So you want it to be able to get in and out of areas a little bit quicker. It's gonna take me to some pros and cons. Starting off with the pros is how refined the interior is compared to everybody in class. Plus, the best in class for towing. You have more leg room here for the back seats. You do lose some storage underneath the seats, which is a con for me. But here we actually have physical buttons to turn on and off the climate control and the sound system, which all the trucks are integrating everything into the infotainment screen. Now, on the con to this infotainment screen, in order to turn your lights on and off, instead of having it just for auto, you have to physically go into the settings of the infotainment screen. I like how they've integrated the circular air vent, so it keeps the sporty style of the Camaro alive in pretty much all of their brands. And for the front fascia, they're integrating the same style, giving 2 parts of a grille. It's pretty quiet in the cabin, so they sealed it up well. The seat cushion is pretty comfortable. Maneuverability isn't bad either. The steering is pretty light. And you don't feel too many imperfections on the road, so even though you're raised up higher, the suspension is actually well. Going back to the question at the beginning, is it better than Toyota and Ford? Toyota is going to sacrifice a little bit with some of the amenities, and you have to start spending over $50,000 in order to get anything in the vehicle. This becomes a bargain. Going against Ford, it's the same thing. It's almost at the same price as an F-150 base. So then when you're at those prices, you might as well go for the large truck instead of a mid-size pickup truck. That's why the Colorado slots in perfect, because you're getting a lot of features standard. Yes, you do have to go into the ZR1 in order to get most of the features that are desirable, like the ventilated heated front seats and a wireless charging pad. But if you're okay with sacrificing a few of those fancy amenities, you can get the Trail Boss and you're in the mid 40 grand pricing, which takes me back to the Ranger. The XLT, to get comparable features like this and to have 2 different options of engines like this, you're going to be spending an extra $2,000 to $7,000, and this is going to outclass it with towing and payload. And as for the Tacoma, you have to go into the new TRD Pre-Runner in order to get comparable features to this. We've optioned over $4,000 of features to this, and it's only $1,000 more than that as a base price, in which the Tacoma, the sweet spot is the Limited. That's around $55,000. The problem that I have with the Colorado is you still have to option features in order to make this vehicle be able to do off-roading capabilities. You still have to use a lot of the commands through the infotainment screen, and you have to option features for your safety because it doesn't come standard with rear cross traffic alert, blind spot monitoring. Some of these features should come standard with the Chevy Assist.